Now that I was older, the Wages Award demanded I be paid more, and this made it difficult to find an employer willing to give me a job. Boys leaving school were cheaper. One of my applications for employment brought an answer from a haberdashery warehouse in Flinders Lane. The job was for a junior clerk capable of running an office on his own. My father said that such an advertisement suggested mean people searching for a youth at low wages to fill a man's job.
Sir. Can I be of assistance?
Yes, I have an appointment with Mrs. Smallpeck.
Oh, I see. One moment, please.
Mr. Marshall.
Yes.
Osbert Slade, I'm the manager.
Oh. How do you do?
Mrs. Smallpeck will see you in a moment. If you care to wait in her office.
Thanks very much.
Mr. Marshall?
Good morning.
Please sit down. Well, Mr. Marshall, I see by your letter you've the necessary qualifications, accountancy to intermediate standard.
Yes.
Though I note you carefully omit to state anything at all about your affliction.
Well, I didn't
You're
think...
crippled, Mr. Marshall. And badly, too. How old are you?
20.
You'll never get work in your condition and at your age. Then again, I know I'll never get a man as good as the one who's leaving. So there you are.
I'm sorry to have wasted your time, Mrs. Smallpeck.
I feel sorry for you, Mr. Marshall. And I might be prepared to give you the job. But you can't expect me to pay you the rates I would pay a normal, healthy man. Besides, I'd be sacrificing efficiency in the office.
I thought you wanted a clerk to keep the books.
I see from the award a capable youth of your age gets £3 a week. I'll give you 30 shillings. Take it or leave it.
All right. I'll take it. On one condition. If I work for you for 6 months at that amount and do a satisfactory job, will you give me the full award rates from then on, when I'm 21?
All right. If you work well for me, if you work for 30 shillings, and if I decide to keep you on, then yes, I'll pay you the full award. You prove your worth, Mr. Marshall, and you won't find me ungrateful.
That's settled then.
When can you start?
As soon as you like.
Tomorrow?
Sounds fine.
9 o'clock sharp then, Mr. Marshall. Half an hour for lunch, 5 o'clock knock off.
As the award says.
I don't seem to have your current address, Mr. Marshall.
No. But I'll be fixing that this afternoon. Good day.
This way. Oh, lovely.
So,
Please, would you like to sit down?
thanks.
Of course, when you phoned, I didn't realise that.
Oh, it's not as bad as it appears, Mrs. Birdsworth. Really, there's not a lot I can't do, except the Irish jig.
Unfortunately, Mr. Marshall, the room's upstairs.
Oh, well, at least they're only short flights. It's worse at work. Well, it's all good exercise. You said something on the phone about depending on my suitability.
Well, yes, Mr. Marshall, I did. You see, I do try to do my best to maintain harmony in the household. And that doesn't just depend on whether or not I approve of a particular boarder. What I've got to ask myself is, will he fit in with the others?
Of course.
Will he find he has things in common with his fellow lodgers, or is he chalk and cheese? Will he feel like a member of the family, or like a Chinaman in a synagogue? In a manner of speaking. You see, Mr. Marshall, this isn't your average rooming house of stray and disparate souls. Happily, my guests are bound together by a mutual interest, a love, and in some cases, a mastery of the arts. Mr. Mollison and Mr. Burmeister in particular, the one with his splendid baritone voice, the other a virtuoso with the violin. Do you share our passion for music, Mr. Marshall?
Oh, I can certainly hold a tune if that's what you mean.
Oh.
I don't mind a sing-along around the piano. But my particular interest in the arts, to borrow your rather daunting reference, Mrs. Birdsworth, is in a somewhat different area.
Oh.
I'm a writer. Well, at least that's my aspiration. I haven't sold a story as yet, but it's only a matter of time.
A writer, Mr. Marshall?
Well, I suppose, seeing as I'm not published yet, that's not strictly true, but I certainly take it seriously.
I see. Well, at least you don't make models out of matches.
No.
Or put little ships in bottles.
You're not wrong there.
Well, I'll tell you what I'll do, Mr. Marshall. Even if you're not concerned, I'm worried about the stairs. But out the back, there's a sleep-out that's vacant at the moment. The rent would be the same.
Sounds fine.
Perhaps you'd like to take a look.
All right, thanks.
I'll have it fixed, of course. Naturally, most of this would go. Do you think you'll need all the wardrobe?
Possibly not.
I'd hate to have to part with this. A gift from my husband, God rest his soul. It might brighten up the room.
Yes.
Though the heart be weary, sad the day and long, still to us at twilight comes love's oldest song, comes love's old sweet song.
That was splendid. Very good.
Thank you, Mr. Marshall.
Do you sing professionally?
Well, I do the odd engagement or function, you know, but Well, I sing for pleasure as much as anything.
Why else?
Now, who's next? Mamie.
No, Mrs. Birdsworth, I'm out of practice.
Don't be silly, my girl.
But I'm not good enough, Mr. Burmeister.
On the contrary, I find your music most enchanting. Most enchanting.
Why don't we pause for supper? The tea will be getting stewed.
Mrs. Birdsworth tells me you're a writer, Mr. Marshall.
Well, not yet, but I hope to be.
And what are you doing in the meantime?
Well, I write.
To keep body and soul together.
Oh, I've earned a job as an assistant accountant. I start in the morning. They're wholesale haberdashers, actually. You should keep it in mind in case there's something I can get you.
I see.
And what do you do?
I work in the city, Mr. Marshall.
Oh, yeah? And what does Mr. Gulliver do?
Mr. Gulliver has a very important position with one of Melbourne's largest firms. A very important position.
Works in the city too, then, eh? What about you, Miss Fulton?
No, Mr. Marshall, I don't work in the city.
Well, isn't this fun, eh? Sitting around getting to know one another. Who's for a game of cards?
Fella. Talkative little neighbourhood.
Well, Mrs. Smallpeck been today?
No. No, she's really in the warehouse, you know. After all, I am the manager. No, Mrs. Smallpeck is usually far too busy with her charitable activities. Her name often appears in the social pages of the daily newspapers. No, Mrs. Smallpeck was there to give a helping hand while she gives service rather than money. The less said about that, the better. Are you sure that's right?
I'll check it if you like.
No. If you're happy. She does great work with hospitals and invalids. She'd understand your difficulties perfectly.
You think that's why she's paying me 30 bob?
I'm sure it's not our position to criticize our employers.
Can I help you, Ellen?
Yes, the price of curtain rings, the small ones.
Brass or plain?
Brass.
4 for a penny.
Yeah, threepence a dozen. Thanks very much.
Just call out over the partition, Ellen. There's no need for you to trouble yourself.
Oh, it's no trouble at all. I like doing things for myself.
What a lovely woman Mrs. Hinchley is. I used to serve her at Robertson's and Moffat's. Is there something I can do for you, Mr. Marshall?
No, thanks, Miss Bryce. I'm doing famously.
I suppose she was angry I got her order wrong.
Well, I think it's only fair to say she wasn't pleased. But thankfully, Mrs. Hinchley is a woman of breeding. She knows we're only human.
What do you mean, a woman of breeding? Well, you've got some funny expressions in the city.
It's not something you define, Mr. Marshall. It simply exists.
Yeah, but you don't mean a woman with a large family or anything like that, do you? Yeah. Well, I'm off. Excuse me.
staying in for lunch?
No, I'm off out. Get a bit of fresh air.
Half an hour, remember?
Excuse me, do you know this part of town at all?
I know it all right.
There's a pie cart I'm looking for. It's run by a friend of a friend. Name of Flogger Davies?
Fighting pieman?
Yeah, that'd be right. He's a boxer.
Oh, you've got the right place. He's here overnight.
Not during the daytime.
His particular customers only come out when it's dark.
What a lovely meal tonight. Mrs. Birdsworth did herself proud.
Yes, it's hard to know when to stop, isn't it? I did enjoy your playing last night. What was it called?
It was a piece in C sharp minor, Opus 56 by Chopin.
Oh. Well, I thought you played it beautifully. It said in music what I'd like to be able to say in words.
Do you think you'll ever make any money as a writer, Mr. Marshall?
Not much. Enough to live on, I hope.
You're paid dearly for success, Mr. Marshall.
Perhaps. Perhaps I'll like it. My needs are simple.
I suppose a marriage is out of the question. If you're to be a writer.
Well, I hope it won't be as bad as all that.
Mr. Gulliver's playing. We shouldn't talk.
Sorry.
That was lovely, Mr. Gulliver.
Yes, very good.
I don't think Mr. Burmeister played last night, did he? Mr. Burmeister?
Yeah?
Where's your violin?
Up in my room.
Why don't you go and get it while we're waiting for the tea to draw?
I'm in the middle of a game.
Oh, that's all right. I'm ready now. And I thought, Alan, that we might have a recitation from you.
Oh, well, the fact is, Mrs. Birdsworth, that I've got some writing that I should be doing. Practice makes perfect. Mr. Gulliver's shown us that.
But
Well, if I don't keep my hand in, I'll lose the ground I've made. Have a pleasant evening. Good night.
Hot pies. Here, Sonny. What do you have?
Oh, give us a pie, thanks.
What, you're down for the show, are you?
Eh?
The agricultural show.
No. I don't look like it, do I?
Right down to the A seeds in your cuffs. Well, you're not down from the country. What you learn?
Oh, I knock around. I'm a clerk in an office.
Oh, yeah. The hot pies and frankfurts. Hot steaming pies.
I know Gunner Harris.
Where'd you meet Gunner?
He was up at Wallaby Creek in the pub there for a while.
Yeah, but he's back in town now. He minds a cart for me sometimes when I got to go and fight at the stadium.
So he said.
What's a bloke like you want with Gunner Harris? What, he do you down?
Nothing much. Just a few bob at cards.
Is Cassidy on the beat tonight?
Ah, you're all right.
Evening.
You missed your chance there.
I don't reckon.
Hot pies and frankfurts. Hot steaming pies. Yes, sir, what'll it be?
Eating in today, Ellen?
Yes. That's Miss Bryce's birthday today.
Happy birthday, dear Ethel. Happy birthday to you.
Hip hip.
Hooray!
Hip hip.
Hooray!
Hip hip.
Hooray! Happy birthday, Miss Bryce.
Thank you, Mrs. Fraser, but how did you know?
Oh, Alan remembered. You mentioned it in passing some months ago and he must have written it down.
Mr. Marshall.
Here, I've got something for you. Happy birthday.
But I couldn't.
Go on.
We don't give gifts, Alan.
What?
It wouldn't be right.
We have to observe the proprieties. After all, we do work together.
Oh, but it's hardly anything of value.
I couldn't. Please don't ask me.
I insist.
Mr. Slade, do something.
I don't believe this.
Ellen, you're upsetting Miss Bryce. Now then, we'll just try and forget that this happened. Well, I think I'll take my sandwiches with me. There is some work I should be doing.
I didn't mean to embarrass you, Miss Bryce.
Well, you might have been a bit more thoughtful.
I'm sorry. I truly am. You'll have to forgive me if I find your city ways just a bit of a puzzle.
You're becoming my best customer.
I reckon.
You're a terror for punishment. You know what he puts in them pies?
They'll do him less harm than what you're selling.
Get nicked.
Give us a salve. Give us a salve.
Well, what's wrong with me pies?
Nothing. I want a salve. All right, don't murder it.
Usually wins I don't give you enough.
Stick it on a slate, will you? You wouldn't give your mother credit.
That's why I'm still in business. Geez, there's mugs about tonight. Hot pies and frankfurts. Hot steaming pies, hot pies, hot pies. Yes, sir.
Give us a pie, will you? You are about to savour the best pies in Melbourne. Yeah? Wouldn't eat anywhere else. Well, they'll have to be pretty good to be better than the ones back home. Yeah, and where's that? Wedderburn. You're a long way from home. Down for the races. Thanks, mate. Well, not bad.
Well, you didn't build them up.
Thanks, mate.
How'd you go? At the races?
Oh, not bad. Got the double, then back Mudlark in the last.
Mudlark? That's what you want to win.
Well, I reckon they've been saving him, see? I mean, he was favourite last week, and he didn't do nothing. His price was good, too. I reckon he was a cert.
Mudlark. Took 50 notes on Wednesday. 200 the week before.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'd lose when you're in the name, eh?
Yeah, and tell us another one, eh?
I got a contact, you see. Matter of fact, I'm meeting him later on. I reckon he's got a beauty. Well, he knows a train, see? They're organised. Sending a telegram to the owners tonight in code. They're thorough, all right. It's racing's big business. Rather in? Now you're out.
Look, how about getting me in, eh?
Come on, you think I'm stupid, eh? You start putting it around, it'll shorten the odds.
No, I can keep my mouth shut.
No, I couldn't be made to kill me.
Oh, look, I only want a tenner.
No, I'm sorry, I couldn't. Listen, tell you what I'll do. Let this one go by tonight. Fix you up with something on Friday, huh?
Friday?
That's the best I can do.
Oh, come on.
He's probably pulling your leg.
Yeah.
She's 20 to 1. I'm in for 100. Put in a word for you, see if for 10, right?
Oh, look, make it 20, eh?
Oh, now, come on, mate.
Now, come on, 20.
Give us a cuppa, will you? And I'll see you here the same time tomorrow night, huh?
You wouldn't be crook now, would you?
Oh, no, that's lovely, isn't it? A minute ago you were
Yeah,
begging me.
yeah. Sorry. Tomorrow. See you then. See ya.
Yeah. See you later.
Give the cuppa to the young bloke, eh?
You can chuck it in the gutter. That was a nice piece of work.
He's getting his education cheap.
And what's your cut?
You watch it.
You might have stopped him.
Look, if he didn't skin him, someone else would have.
And that makes it all right, does it?
Look, it's nothing to do with me.
Every man for himself, eh?
That's right.
I'll have to count my change in future.
Thank you. Was there something else?
Well, I was just wondering, Mrs. Smallpeck, whether you're happy with my work. What I mean is it up to standard?
Do you think it is?
Well, yes, I do, but I don't suppose that's for me to judge.
I haven't had any complaints from Mr. Slade.
Oh, good.
Nor any praise either, for that matter.
Well, you did say that at the end of 6 months that you'd pay the full award.
If I was happy with your work.
Well, yeah, that's it. That's exactly why I'm asking.
I haven't decided. It's not everyone who employ a man on crutches.
Well, it's not that I'm ungrateful, Mrs. Smallpeck. It's just
We
that-
should take from our work a lot more than our wages.
Well, yes, I know, but I think...
I don't get paid for my charity work. I do it for the good of my soul.
That's hardly the
Nor
same.
do I expect to be thanked for the privilege.
Well, I suppose I'd better get back to my desk.
Hello. I didn't see you at dinner.
No, I had a music lesson.
Oh. The others are at Mr. Mollison's recital.
Yes, I'm sorry I missed it. You didn't want to go?
No, I had some things to do for the office.
Where do you go at night, Ellen?
What?
Oh, Mrs. Birdsworth, she worries about you.
She needn't bother.
She was talking about it this morning. You haven't been doing much writing lately.
No. To tell you the truth, I haven't done much writing since I came here. I used to leave the light on to make it look like I was working, till I got found out. Mrs. Birdsworth gave me quite a talking to about wasting electricity. Doesn't grow on trees, she said. Of course, I had to agree with her.
But where do you go?
Into town.
Why?
Oh, I find it interesting. The lights and all the people. There's a pie cart in one of the arcades.
What do you do?
I watch. And I listen. It's good for stories.
What kind of people are they?
Well, they're not like the lot around here.
Mrs. Birdsworth says she's heard you come in at 2 o'clock.
Has she? I tell you what. You ought to come out with me some night.
Me?
To the pictures. I've gotten him to know the spruiker out the front. He reckons it's the best movie he's ever seen. Oh, come on, Amy, you'd love it. Well, it'd be good to have the company. What do you say?
After the things that you get up to, do you really think it's likely?
Just to the pictures.
If I have any time for pleasure, I play the piano.
You've been out with Mr. Gulliver.
To a concert, that was different.
Well...
What do you mean I've been out with Mr. Gulliver? Mr. Gulliver is a gentleman.
I know.
And an elder of the church.
I never
And I don't go to the pictures with men who hang around pie carts in the middle of the night.
We would be back by 10 o'clock. Not even if I asked you nicely?
No. And what are you looking at?
Nothing.
Look, I feel very sorry for you, Alan, but that's no reason to take advantage.
Flogger! They need you in the stadium. What's that? Jimmy Cotton, he broke his arm.
Well, who's he fighting?
Bunny S. Sims.
The Rabbitoh?
First bout in the second half.
God, keep your eye on the card for us, will you? I've got to go up and earn a quid. What do I do? Oh, you'll be right. Bunny Sims, eh?
You'll murder him!
Come on.
Hey, now hang on a minute. There'll be plenty of sauce tonight.
Go on, mate. Let him know you're there.
Hot pies and frankfurts. Hot pies and frankfurts.
Isn't that exciting?
Well, I'll be glad.
We should go out more often.
Look, down there.
At what?
That pie cart.
Fresh frankfurts.
I'm not hungry.
In the apron.
Can't be.
It is. Come on.
Fresh frankfurts.
I just can't believe it, Alan.
All I was doing was looking after things for a friend.
A common vendor in the street. I'm told you were wearing an apron.
Well, yes.
Here I am trying to run a respectable household. I charge you half the rent you should be paying, and this is how you thank me. I thought it was your intention to supplement your earnings from your writings.
Well, it is.
And instead, you sell meat pies in the street.
Mrs. Birdsworth, I'm sorry. It won't happen again. It was as much a joke as anything else.
A joke? A joke?
What I mean
Alan,
is...
I have been tolerant up till now, goodness knows, with your nighttime wanderings, your careless waste of electricity, and your rudeness to the others.
Rudeness?
You never attend our musical evenings anymore. They've a right to be offended, and so have I.
I'm sorry you feel that way.
Well, I do.
Well, if you want me to leave, I'll
No! No. Of course I don't.
But if I'm causing so much concern, it only seems...
That's gratitude for you. I make a special effort to accommodate you with your infirmity, and now you want to leave me in the lurch.
I don't.
I have overheads, Alan. The bills don't pay themselves.
Well, what do you want me to do?
I should have thought that was obvious. I want you to be a little more considerate, Alan. Think of others for a change. There it is. I've said my piece. There's nothing more to discuss.
And I won't be home for tea tonight, Mrs. Birdsworth. I've got some books I've got to pick up from the library before it closes.
Hot boys! Steaming hot boys! Hot boys! Steaming hot boys! Hot boys! Well, look who's here.
Flogger?
Yeah, Flogger said you'd be along.
How have you been?
Oh, can't complain. You?
Oh, I'm doing all right. I got a job in a warehouse.
Clever.
Where's Flogger?
Oh, he done so well at the stadium the other night, he's gone up to Sydney for a couple of bouts. Asked me to keep an eye on things while he's away.
Heard from Arthur?
Well, funny you should mention that. He was here last week. He was asking after you.
Well, do you know where he lives?
No. But, I see him around.
Well, do you know how I can get in touch with him?
Sorry. But, if I do see him, I'll tell him you're around. Where are you living?
I'll just tell him I'll meet him here if I can. Try and get along tomorrow night.
If I see him.
Yeah. Good to see you, Gunner.
Hot boys! Steaming! Hot boys!
Darling, I am growing old. Silver threads among the gold shine upon my brow today. Life is fading fast away.
Splendid. Just splendid.
Encore! Encore!
Where are the boys of the old brigade who fought with us side by side, shoulder to shoulder and blade to blade, fought till they fell and died? Who's so ready and unafraid?
Gunner?
Evening, Alan.
Ruby?
Well, surprise, surprise.
Yeah, I got held up.
You missed him.
Arthur?
He got sick of waiting. Went off to play two-up.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, he said he might be back. Or he mightn't. What'll he have?
Give us a pie.
Oh? Thank you, sir. Appreciate the custom.
Yeah.
Nah, real mug he was. Real country bumpkin. Said he wanted some fun. Said he wanted a woman. So I told him I could help him. Well, you know me, always friendly. Well, I never seen a wallet so stuffed with notes. Couldn't believe me good fortune. Yeah, so I left him flat on his back under a tree in Fitzroy Gardens.
Why don't you go to the police?
Ah, married men never squeal. Anyway, probably done him a favour. Saved him from taking his missus home a dose. Yeah, at least he went home clean this time. Clean bloody out.
Think I'll stretch my legs.
Got a couple of bob?
No, thanks, love.
Come on, you might enjoy it. I'm freezing to death out here. Well, good night.
Yeah.
Do I know you?
I don't think so.
But I've seen you here before. What's your name?
What's it to you?
Farron's the name. Detective Sergeant Farron.
Oh.
I don't know you, but I do know your friends. Do you want some advice? Stop away from here. Knock around other parts of Melbourne if you have to, but dodge this place. We're cleaning it up. Whether you know it or not, you've been mixing with some of the dirtiest crooks in Melbourne. If you're around when we pick them up, you'll be charged as well.
But I'm just here to meet a friend.
Just hop it and make yourself scarce.
Yeah, but I've made this arrangement.
Hey, how's tricks?
Arthur.
Is that him?
Yeah.
No, but
Thanks. How you going, mate?
Good. Good. Look, I'll tell you later. Let's go, mate. Yeah, I missed you earlier when I played 2 up. Now, how'd you go? No bloody good. I got skinny. Good luck, eh?
Cheers.
Cheers.
It's good to see you.
Yeah. So this is where the writer lives, eh? How's it going?
Well, not quite the writer yet.
I'd take that copper's advice if I was you, son. No future in mucking round with that mob.
But I like Flogger, though. He was good for stories.
So's going to jail. It's no good listening to other people, Alan. You've got to go out and do things for yourself. How's your work?
It's a job.
What about the pay?
It pays half the award.
Half the award?
I made a bargain that after 6 months' trial, I'd get the full amount.
And?
Well, I haven't passed, but I haven't failed either.
So you still get half?
That's right.
What are you going to do about it?
I don't know.
Well, that's no bloody answer, Alan. I've told you before, you've got to go for what you're due for in life. No one'll do you any favours.
Yeah. Anyway, how about you? You found the girl of your dreams?
Well, not through lack of trying. What about you? How old are you now? You must be 20.
Yeah, well, there's a girl who boards here.
And?
Well, I don't know what's right for me.
What, do you think a girl can't love you, Alan? Think they just fall for the wrestlers down the stadium?
I don't know. We'll have to think of something. We'll have to throw myself into my writing.
Oh, yes, but what the hell are you going to write about? Listen, Alan, you've got to start going out with girls, but you're not going to win any girl with that hang-dog look on your face. You know how a savage dog will always go for a bloke that's frightened. It smells his fear and tears right into him. But if a bloke's not scared, well, the dog will let him pat it. Well, girls are like that. If you're frightened and you reckon you're not fit to touch them, well, they won't have a bar of you. But if you barge in feeling you're as good as they are, you'll win as sure as eggs. They'll love you, Alan, if they reckon you're worth it. And it's up to you to show that you are.
Mr. Slade, there's a gentleman to see Mrs. Smallpate.
Does he have an appointment?
No, he doesn't. But he said he's from the Department of Labour.
That'll be Mr. Renfrey.
Alan?
He'll want the wages book.
Alan, what's going on?
Nothing that need concern you, Mr. Slade. This is between me and Mrs. Smallpeck. Mr. Renfrey. Alan Marshall.
Mr. Marshall?
This is the wages book. And this is the day I started. Here. I'll see if Mrs. Smallpeck is free.
Come in.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Renfrey from the Department of Labour to see you. Mrs. Smallpeck will see you now.
Reporting me to the Department of Labour.
We had a bargain, Mrs. Smallpeck. You didn't keep your side of it.
Make up his wages. He's fired.
According to Mr. Renfrey, I'm entitled to back pay from the day I started. I make that £58. You can check the calculation.
Pay him and get rid of him.
Alan? Mr. Marshall, I don't believe
We
that
had
you
a bargain. She didn't keep her side of it. I would have.
Did you tell her what you were going to do?
Threatening, do you mean? No. That's not my way.
Wordsworth.
It's Mrs. Birdsworth. She's bankrupt.
Alan, it's awful.
Well, what happened?
Well, it's Mrs. Birdsworth.
I know, I saw her leaving.
I don't know what's going to happen to us. There's a lawyer in there now. He wants to see you.
Me?
He said as soon as you came in.
Come in. Ah, Mr. Marshall.
Yes.
My name is Brown from Husband & Brown. We're the owner's solicitors.
The owners?
Yes, Mrs. Birdsworth was purchasing under an agreement. On very good terms, I might add. However, the monies from the rent were not forthcoming, so regrettably we were forced to terminate.
I see.
Now, the owners would like to keep the place going. It's a very viable concern. However, we need someone to manage the place and to collect the rents. Now, I see from your rent book that you work as an assistant accountant.
Yes, I have
Well,
done...
the job's yours if you want it. We'll waive your rent in lieu. Now, I noticed from the rent book that you seem to be paying a lot more than everybody else, so the gesture is not inconsiderable.
May I see that?
Yes, of course. There.
I was supposed to be getting this on the cheap.
Yes, well, unfortunately, Mrs. Birdsworth wasn't all she appeared to be, Mr. Marshall.
How on earth did she go broke on all this?
Well, apparently she was seeing a rather unsavoury gentleman from East Melbourne. He took her for every penny she was worth.
I see. Look, about your offer. Thanks all the same, but I'm really not interested.
Oh, all right. Well, good luck anyway.
Thanks very much.